Yo guys, what's going on? It's Malachi here. Welcome back. Today, I'm just going to be kind of playing and talking about Lords of the Fallen and why I personally think it's a good game because I've noticed even up to this day there's still a lot of people that just put so much hate on this game. Think all of the time and effort that the team has put into fixing everything and making it an actual playable game. I think there's something to be said about that, and I just kind of want to give it praise where praise is due. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. I guess to start off, I really just want to talk about the overall world design itself and just really the aesthetic of it all. I think this is one of my favorite settings in a Souls-like that I've seen. It combines everything I love from the medieval dark fantasy to the horror and just the really dark and gritty and grotesque designs. And just look at this shit, man. It's sick and disgusting, but it's beautiful. I just absolutely love all the destruction and chaos that lies within the world. Everything is ruined. It's hauntingly beautiful. I think I can speak for a lot of people when they first walked out here was when everybody was like, this game is beautiful. Or even after you talk to the Iron Wayfarer and you climb up here, making your way to the boss, and you just see this. And another thing that I really love about this game is just the armor and the weapons, both one and the same. I can say the same exact thing about both. Just the level of detail that has gone into them. Same with all the enemies and the bosses and just everything. And I know that this game isn't a standout in terms of the level of detail that goes into everything. I know that all the games do their best to put as much detail as they can. I just think that this game in particular, it translates very well with everything. In my opinion, even something as simple as this just looks so good. And it has some of my favorite weapon designs across all games, to be honest. I especially love the skull flail. It's one of my favorites. And hearing that little sound cue right there for when I entered this area made me realize that I didn't want to talk about the overall sound design in this game, which I also think is just really damn good. I like the fact that they took a bit more of a dark approach with the sound design and everything. It's not as orchestral, it's a bit more gritty, and I know that they had talked about how much they like heavy metal music and all that kind of stuff, and you can definitely see that influence in here. I just think overall that they killed it with the sound design. I can't wait for the second game to see what they come up with in that, because I know that their plan is to go even heavier, darker, bloodier. If y'all haven't watched that little podcast that they did, I'm just trying to brute strength this. I don't care about being hit. I'm just trying to... There we go. If y'all haven't watched that little podcast thing that they did, they uploaded, I think, like 3-4 parts of it. It's pretty good. They talk a lot about the new game and kind of their approach on it and what it's like making games and what they learned from this game. Another small thing I wanted to touch on is just how cool I think the bonfire lore, I guess, is in this game. They're called vestiges. This stands out to me because, as you can see on our hip, we got the lamp, and as you can see right there, there's a big ass lamp. Every bonfire or vestige you come across, it's a fallen lamp bearer. It's just another person who bore a lamp and died. And I think that is just such a cool little design choice. And knowing that, every time I interact with one, it just kind of gives it a whole new meaning of like, everything is just kind of repeating itself, and I'm just another small little part in this whole big ass thing that's happening. Now, moving on a little bit, I have to say at first I was not the biggest fan of the whole umbral mechanic. The very first time I played it, I was a little confused by it. I didn't pay that much attention in the tutorial, so it's purely my fault. But it just seemed a little convoluted and like something that they did to try and stand out and be different, but all it did was just make the game annoying. And even now, there are times where I feel like it could do without it. But now I've grown to like it and what it gives to the game. I enjoy being able to traverse the same level in a different way, and it just... it definitely does add a fair amount. And not to mention, it makes the landscapes look so damn cool. Got the big ol' eye up in the sky looking at us. And you just have all those like monsters or whatever just everywhere. And it's nice too because they put these little totems up right here that allow you to leave. And I do appreciate the fact that when you die, it sends you into Umbral, so you get a second chance. Because that has saved my ass so many times. I'm not trying to glaze the game too hard, which I know that's all I've done up to this point in the video. However, I will agree with some people on what they say in terms of the lack of enemy variety, because I'm pretty late into the game and I'm still fighting the same shit. There are some new things here and there, but there are so many reused enemies. Like these, you fight these, these are some of the first enemies that you face in the game. And this within itself is a boss, and then they just reused it and turned him into a regular ass enemy. And they do that shit all the time. So many boss turned regular enemies. It's ridiculous. That is one gripe that I will share with anybody. The game needs a bigger variety in enemy design overall and less boss turned regular enemies, because it's so annoying and it takes away from how cool the actual boss fight it is itself, I feel like, because you come across this boss and it's super sick and everything, and then next thing you know, maybe 5 minutes later, you're fighting the same boss, but it's just a regular enemy now. For me, the Light Reaper is the hardest and possibly the coolest boss in the game. I was pretty disappointed with the final boss. I'm not gonna spoil it, I don't care how old this game is. Yeah, that fucked me up. I also have to give some credit because I feel like Pieta is a pretty solid quote unquote first boss. I know she's not the first person you fight, but for me it felt like the first big boss of the game. Because if I'm not mistaken, even if you lose to what is truly the first boss, it's just like one of those scripted deaths. I can't quite remember. But I feel like Pieta does a good job because she kind of gets you acquainted with the game's mechanics, both in terms of parry and dodge, and kind of getting you used to the timings. But yeah, she kind of reminds me of Father Gascoigne in that sense because she gets you used to how the mechanics are going to be and how the flow of everything is, just how he gets you used to. Like he gets you used to the rally mechanic and both the parry and the dodge, and just what it's like for a boss to be hyper aggressive while you are also having to be hyper aggressive. I feel like they both are very well rounded first true bosses, and that's something that I just really appreciate. Oh, I forgot how much I hate this area. Honestly, I don't really know what else to talk about. I feel like I've covered pretty much everything that I enjoy about this game. The world for me is honestly the biggest thing. The sense of gloom and just disparity that it oozes makes me come back over and over again, just like Bloodborne. It's so dark and gritty, yet you have areas like this that are absolutely beautiful. And Skyrest Bridge, really, I don't think there's an ugly area in the game, even if the colors themselves are very just dark and gloomy. I think there is beauty to be found within that. Overall, I truly think that this game gets so much unnecessary hate, and I just wanted to make this video explaining why I personally love the game, and hopefully it will urge someone out there to play it. It does have like a seamless type of co-op mod where if one of your friends has it, you can play with them and you don't even have to buy the game, which I think is really cool and allows a lot more people to experience the game. With all that being said, if y'all made it this far, drop a like and comment down below and let me know what you think. And if y'all enjoyed, subscribe for more. And until the next one, peace.